we're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort, and China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Guys, the question is this. We don't know why. Colonial Pipeline shut the line down itself. The hackers did not, according to Colonial, shut it down. Colonial said they shut it down proactively to, quote, contain the threat. We just don't know what the threat was.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, I come back with that video just to make you think. Now we have one of the major pipelines get hacked. That's right, guys, the DARKSIDE. And they even have a help desk so you can give them a call. But guys, we know there's nothing but the New World Order building the narrative. Remember, to get us over into the fourth industrial revolution, what do you have to do? You have to cause a problem. You wait for the reaction and you run in with the solution. If you have my New World Order book, you understand. When it comes to the New World Order, everything is planned out. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Known as DARKSIDE. DARKSIDE. Amen.
Yeah, Joe, that's right. DARKSIDE is the #1 suspect. It can be tricky to do attribution here in cybersecurity, but that's who experts think is behind this. It's a relatively new group. They do ransomware as a service. That is, they offer the ransomware out to other criminal gangs, and the other criminal gangs do the actual attacks and then kick back money to the DARKSIDE group that launched this ransomware in the first place. So it's a sort of a criminal syndicate, if you think of it that way. And the folks over at CyberReason, a cybersecurity firm, have been doing some analysis of this bad guy group. They put out this report in April on DARKSIDE, and here's what they found. They're targeting mostly English-speaking countries, and they avoid former Soviet bloc nations, and that might give you a big clue as to who they are and where they're located. They have a code of conduct that they publish on the dark web that actually prohibits certain types of attacks on hospitals, nonprofits, and governments. They are known to be highly professional. The group has a help desk to facilitate negotiations. They also have a phone number you can call to talk to an agent there if you need some help paying your ransom if you've been hacked. They claim that they donate a portion of the stolen funds to charities here, although there's been some dispute, and some of the charities have apparently refused to take this money because obviously it's coming from a criminal gang. They've also been threatening to hit NASDAQ-listed companies and threatening to release sensitive market-moving information on those companies before that information is public. So there's a whole range of different hostile activity being undertaken by this broad group known as DARKSIDE. It's not clear exactly who they are or exactly where they are, Joe, but the idea is that because they're protecting, so to speak, their own neighborhood, that is the former Soviet bloc countries, and targeting English-speaking countries, you do get a sense of maybe who's behind all this.
Do they mention Dogecoin at all, Eamon? I mean, would they take Dogecoin, or would they... You think they'd rather have a more established, maybe Ethereum or Bitcoin? Do you know?
I don't know if they have the risk appetite for Dogecoin, right? I mean, it's moving all over the place. You might not want to take that.
Would it be with crypto, though? Look, how do they want it?
They do ask for crypto. Usually, some of these bad guys groups will ask for Monero, which is a more anonymous type of crypto, but they do take all sorts of payments. But it's not like negotiating with the Somali pirates. Remember those guys where they literally fly a helicopter over the area where the pirates were and just drop duffel bags full of cash down in order to get the hostages back?
Right.
This is all digital, and it's all cryptocurrency, but it's the same basic principle.
Like that scene in The Big Lebowski. That's right. John could be. Yeah. Right. Go ahead. Yeah. Over the bridge, and they'll be on motorbikes. Go ahead, Beth.
Hey, Eamon, you mentioned they were targeting NASDAQ companies specifically. Why NASDAQ companies? What's the backstory?
Well, the folks over at Cyber Reason sent us a screen grab last night from the website on the dark web of this group, DARKSIDE. And on that website, they talk about they have access into NASDAQ-listed companies, and they can sell that access to other criminal gangs in order to hurt some of those entities. Presumably, you can hit them up for ransom and say, look, we're going to release this data and it's going to move your stock price negatively, obviously, unless you pay us. And so the idea here is that they're claiming to their own customers, that is other criminal gangs, that they have this capability. We don't know if they have that capability, but that's up on their website.
Why not? This is America's energy artery. Arguably, it is the single most important pipeline in the United States. We have millions of miles of pipeline, but none carry so much fuel to such an important area. There's the path. Basically, this takes oil and gas, jet fuel, refined products from the Houston and Louisiana areas where they get crude oil, refine the products, and brings it up the East Coast. A lot of it gets taken off in Georgia. The green are the arteries, the kind of the branches, the yellow, the main pipes comes up through Virginia and New York and New Jersey. Let's put this into perspective. We're talking about 45% of the fuel product used on the East Coast comes via the Colonial Pipeline. 14 states, 7 major airports. This is a big deal. It is offline almost entirely. The company's saying late last night that certain of those branches, those green lines we showed you, may actually be coming back online, but overall, main lines are down. Guys, do you believe if the outage is a couple days long or longer, will there be an impact on the equity market side of things?
Morning, Brian. Yeah, there will be actually a more positive impact, you would think, because when you get rising gasoline prices, people call this word reflation, right? And that's, I think, what fueled last night a little bit the equity rally, the small rally that is, because the tip over into the energy market was seen there as well. And well, as you noted too, look, there's going to be some outages, and it's going to affect the pump prices, so it will impact maybe local economies, but by and large, it should not really impact the U.S. economy overall. We're dealing already with higher gas prices because the economy is open and everybody is mobile right now, so there's another relationship there. I think overall that although this is a significant event in terms of the hack itself and all the circumstances on it, it did have a positive spillover effect to equity markets.
Yeah, I mean, you go back a couple of years and the Colonial had about a 10-day outage on a lot of its system, not all of its system. A reminder, it's not just one pipe. If our audience does not understand what it is, it's a giant tree. You've got a couple of trunks and then a bunch of branches that go off. When that happened about 3 or 4 years ago, the price of gasoline rose about 30 cents. It's not nothing, but it's not everything. We've already got a consumer, Ben, that to your point on inflation is being pretty much punched in the gut everywhere they look with higher prices.